Welcome to the Flood Channel. Come along with us today on an exciting bus tour of Clark County Regional Flood Control District projects that are being built to protect you, our visitors, and property from the damages of flash flooding in Clark County. All that and more on the Flood Channel. The district recently provided an opportunity for key stakeholders and members of the public to get an up-close look at some of our works in progress. The district is proud to show off the behind-the-scenes action that goes into making our community's flood control system a reality. One way we do this is by offering a tour for members of the district's Citizen Advisory Committee, as well as the public. This tour includes multiple stops at different facilities the Regional Flood Control District has helped plan and fund to help the community better understand what goes into making this a reality. The committee provides insight into how flood control projects will benefit the communities they represent. Our CAC guests were outfitted with packets of information to help them understand the project sites along the way.
We're getting all of our committees together and the public and taking them on a tour of some of our facilities that are under construction to show them the real life challenges of constructing a flood control project and really the finished products once they're done and how they can really impact the community in a positive way.
The first stop on the tour is the Naples Detention Basin site near the Harry Reid International Airport. This project has not yet broken ground, and its proximity to the airport creates the need for unique considerations.
The airport requires that we drain the basin within 48 hours, so that's the design for this. So this is a unique project, and it actually has two outfalls. Once the water spills into this basin, there'll be an outfall that we've already constructed. We spent $7 million already on an outfall that goes down Paradise and then ends up winding through and goes into the Tropicana Wash.
The Naples Detention Basin is fascinating when you consider that the Boring Company has plans to bore a Tesla commuter tunnel directly under the basin, while constant overhead passenger flights land and take off at our busy airport just across the street. Our second site is actively under construction, so much so that it's not safe to disembark the bus. It's the Van Buskirk Paradise Detention Basin just a block east. This detention basin will collect runoff from areas around the Harry Reid International Airport, reducing the historic flooding issues near Tropicana Avenue.
So we've created this Citizens Advisory Committee tour to explain to our committees like what kind of projects we do. It's easy to talk about projects in the office and talk about projects in general, but it's really good to go out and see the projects under construction, see the projects completed, to really have an understanding of what we do as an organization and how the projects can impact the community.
Our committee chairman, Ron Newell, has been involved in construction and community planning for his entire career, including as a member of the Regional Flood Control District's Citizens Advisory Committee since the year 2000.
I've been here a long time, but a lot of stuff they're showing us here is stuff that we've approved or going to approve that I haven't seen that they're doing here. And I mean, you just can't have enough reservoirs and things like that. You don't think of the desert as having rain, but when it does rain, it just floods like something crazy.
The Flamingo Wash site west of Maryland Parkway is under reconstruction. The sidewall linings of this older quarter-mile stretch require replacement. Unfortunately, a sudden storm recently sent floodwater racing through the construction site, ripping out portions of the forms and construction materials. The contractor worked hard to replace it and keep the project moving. The CAC tour bus then motored through a recently completed section of the Charleston corridor, but this time the committee was able to see a finished project. The entire project is now closed up and covered with a brand new asphalt street surface. However, the next phase of construction in Charleston Avenue from Maryland Parkway to Main Street is just getting started.
So just Charleston, just knowing the history that's there, you know, the water, the rainfall falls from the west to the east, and just over the time of, you know, Vegas being here, a lot of water generates in, you know, down in Charleston. And seeing that project, knowing it's going to be a 2-year project and you know how long there's been work there, I think that's just interesting to see that.
Our next stop is at a beautiful location, the Springs Preserve Historic Site, where yet another interesting project is underway.
And in 2018, some things changed in our models, in our computer models, and we determined that this detention basin was undersized. It just wasn't as big as it needed to be to capture the design flow that we wanted to. So we came in, and the first thought was that we would normally just make it bigger.
It's been really fun to see the projects in construction, you know, kind of in the middle of construction where you're seeing a lot of rebar being tied and a lot of concrete forms going up. And you're kind of seeing some of the projects maybe a third or halfway completed, and you can envision in your mind, you know, what they're going to look like when they're done. And really large facilities, so you can see the impact that they're going to have to the valley in terms of protecting it and conveying the storm flows through the valley, and it's been really fun to see.
Our last stop on the CAC tour is further west on Charleston, where a challenging construction site presents a deep-seated problem.
It's a pretty messy project, as you can tell. We're obviously taking up a roadway of 6 lanes, only giving the public 2 lanes to travel. Yes, it can be kind of hairy and kind of cumbersome, and most importantly, it can be frustrating and maddening, and we hope that the general public will see the benefits of it after it's done. Though you can't see it, it is extremely, extremely hard. Anybody heard of the material called caliche? Caliche is a really strong cemented rock that nobody can really understand how deep, how long, how far, how wide it is until they get into the ground.
The CAC Educational Tour offered an excellent chance for our committee members and guests to see, in person, a full portfolio of regional flood control facilities in various stages of progress.
Just putting those facilities in there, that was really stood out to me there. Also, I think just seeing how much it takes to create these facilities. From design, the engineering, how much money goes into it, the cooperation, just working together with other entities, municipalities coming together to just figure out how we can eliminate, you know, flood zones.
Flood control is a collaborative effort. The Citizens Advisory Committee, Technical Advisory Committee, Stormwater Quality Management Committee, and the district's Board of Directors are crucial to our success. To reduce risks for people and property, our flood control system plays a key role in moving stormwater away from populated areas. You may think of concrete as a plain, flat surface, but conveyance structures in the regional flood control system are strategically sized and shaped by engineers based on the function they serve. These structures are often categorized in 2 primary types: underground pipes like box storm drains or arch culverts, and open channels either in rectangular or trapezoidal shapes. Both underground pipes and open channels come in various sizes and shapes tailored to specific hydraulic needs and site constraints.
Pipes, we have round pipe and we have elliptical pipes which are oval shaped. And then for our box storm drain, we have square shaped, rectangular shaped, and also arch shaped. And then finally for channels, open channels, we have rectangular channels which have flat bottoms and vertical walls, and trapezoidal channels which also have flat bottoms but angled walls.
The geometry of these features is crucial. For instance, flat-bottomed box storm drains allow water to spread out, which causes the water to slow down and allows sediment to settle out of the water. Box storm drains are easier for maintenance equipment to clean than most other shapes. A specialized design is the arch storm drain. This type of structure is often constructed right on the project site, called cast in place. This method provides structural benefits and site-specific flexibility.
So here we have an arch storm drain, which has a flat bottom, vertical walls, and an arch top. It is formed here on the project site with reinforcement, and then the place the concrete over it, and then they have to cure it in place.
The arch shape is more structurally sound when compared to a standard box. And in some cases, arch designs are more cost-effective when designed specifically for the individual site conditions. Box shapes are often designed for a wide range of site conditions to account for their less efficient form.
For regional projects, we typically opt for box storm drain for their ease of construction, ease of maintenance, and longevity.
Box storm drains are constructed using one of two primary methods, cast in place or precast. Each method impacts the construction schedule and site logistics.
So there are two methods typically used for constructing box storm drain. One is the cast in place method, which the box is constructed on site. They basically form the box using rebar, and then they pour the concrete. Whereas the precast option is where the boxes are manufactured at an off-site location, and then they are transported to the project site, and then they're placed into the trench.
Precast sections typically arrive in 8-foot segments that are then joined together piece by piece on site. Each precast box is placed into the trench by a crane, one by one. Each joint is fitted with a pliable ring that helps connect the boxes to each other. Once placed in the trench, a machine is used to pull the boxes tightly together to create a solid seal and ensure structural integrity of the storm drain as a whole. The second type of conveyance feature is the open channel, which can be formed naturally in the desert by years of erosion and then shaped by heavy machinery into more efficient shapes for improved water flow. Open channels can also be formed into rectangular or trapezoidal shapes by using concrete to create a more durable and reliable structure. These structures are much easier for the maintenance crews to inspect since they can be viewed from the surface.
Open channels are visible to the public, so it's easy to see when problems exist, which is a good thing. You can see if there's trash buildup and therefore maintenance is needed, or if there's trespassing, that can be mitigated as well.
It's never safe for people to occupy a storm drain or open channel, especially during a rain event. Water flowing in a channel is extremely dangerous. Entering or approaching it can lead to life-threatening consequences. The facilities themselves also need to be protected from the harsh desert environment. Sulfates in the soil and erosive forces of sediment can reduce the service life of the facility. Engineers adjust the concrete mix to resist sulfate corrosion, and higher strength concrete is used to resist erosion and degradation. In some cases, engineers use a thicker concrete section to increase the service life and reliability of the structure. Finding more efficient and cost-effective construction methods is an ever-evolving endeavor. The Clark County Regional Flood Control District continues to explore cutting-edge techniques. From massive concrete precast boxes to arches and lined open channels, these engineering solutions work behind the scenes, beneath the surface, and across our desert landscape to help keep you safe from floods.
Let's go, come on! Don't you do it. It's just a little water in the road. The light is green, there's places to go. It's just a little water in the road. The flash flood grows, how deep, who knows? The other cars made it. Watch and learn, let me show you how it goes. Loco!
Ooh la la!
Yep.
I'm Jacob here at Container Park in downtown Las Vegas. We are quizzing people on their knowledge of flood control. Las Vegas is located in which desert? Las Vegas is located in which desert? Is it A, the Great Basin Desert, B, the Sonoran Desert, or C, the Mojave Desert?
C.
You said C, Mojave Desert. That is correct. You just won your own world famous lip balm from the Regional Flood Control District. There you go. Thank you. The study of effects and distribution of water on the Earth's surface is known as what? A, climatology, B, meteorology, or C, hydrology?
Hydrology.
You said C, hydrology? That is correct. You just won your own World famous lip balm. All right, here's your first question. Approximately how many total miles of storm drains and channels currently exist throughout Clark County? Is it A, 304, B, 17, or C, 684?
684.
You said C.
C. Oh, my bad.
That is correct. You just won yourself a world famous lip balm from the Regional Flood Control District. Look at that. Look at that. Anyone else want to answer some more flood control trivia? All right, okay. No, we believe in you. We're here because we know you got this. All right. Nicknamed desert cement, this hardened buildup of calcium carbonate makes it difficult for the ground to absorb water. What's it called? A, limestone, B, caliche, or C, travertine?
I'm gonna say limestone. A.
Limestone.
A.
It's A, limestone. That is incorrect. It's B, caliche. That's okay. We have a backup question.
Okay.
You got a chance to redeem yourself. In what year did the Nevada State Legislature pass a bill allowing for the creation of the Regional Flood Control District? Is it A, 1971, B, 1985, or C, 2002?
I say 85.
You said 1985.
85. B.
That is correct.
I got my some lip balm!
You won yourself your own world famous lip balm from the Regional Flood Control District.
All right, I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. And we're from Texas.
Oh, welcome to town. Have a good stay.
Thank you.
What is the name for a concrete or dirt ditch that moves floodwater like a river? Is it A, flood channel, B, water widget, or C, gravity sewer? Flood channel, option A. That is correct. You just won yourself a world famous lip balm from the Regional Flood Control District.
Awesome.
Would you like your chance to win your own lip balm? All right, here we go. Okay. Here's your trivia question. Give you a fresh one.
This is an Alabama girl answering, so she don't know about flood control.
I've never been to Nevada.
All right, welcome. Not everyone can say they've answered flood control trivia questions on their visits to Vegas. Which direction does stormwater flow across the Las Vegas Valley? Is it A, north to south, B, west to east, or C, east to west?
Think about this. We drove uphill almost the whole way here. Man, it seems too easy to guess.
North to south.
That's what I was thinking.
North to south.
You said north to south. That is incorrect. It actually flows west to east.
I was right.
It's okay. We have a backup question where you can redeem yourself and get your own second lip balm. When is flash flood season in southern Nevada? Is it A, January through May, B, July through September, or C, November through February?
July through September.
You said July through September. That is correct. You just won your own tube of world famous lip balm. Congratulations.
So because we just looked up floods recently when we were going to California.
You were prepared.
I watched Sister Wives. They lived in Vegas.
Your research prepared you. Congratulations. Enjoy your stay.
Woo!
This is the excitement we need for flood control. Let's go. Which process? What was that you're going to say?
I'm going to do very well.
We believe in you. You have a good support system here, I can
great.
tell. Which process is not part of the water cycle? Not part.
Okay.
A, evaporation, B, formutation, or C, precipitation?
Formutation.
You said formutation B. That is correct. You just won yourself a tube of world famous lip balm from the Regional Flood Control District. Who else? Who else? All right, we'll go in the row here. All right. You'll have to answer two correctly. One's true or false, and then the next is multiple choice.
You can do it, Kaylin.
True or false? In Clark County, stormwater flows untreated directly to Lake Mead.
Or true. True?
You said true. That is correct. Who knows, maybe the next time you're out on the streets of Clark County, you'll find me passing out prizes for flood control trivia, and you might be the next contestant on Street Talk. When you notice a massive flood channel or detention basin in your community, You're seeing the result of a lengthy, data-driven process. It's a result of regionally coordinated efforts that blend into an evolving master plan.
The process for us to decide where a flood control facility goes it's a long process. But it starts with what we call our master planning phase. And so that starts with typically engineers doing like some kind of watershed analysis, big picture analysis of the whole watershed. So planning is kind of that whole phase of coming up where we need those facilities.
That flood control master plan was originally developed in 1986 and is updated every 5 years. These updates are essential. They factor in new development, new construction, and feedback from the public and other stakeholders. Notably, flood control engineers rarely hear positive feedback when projects finish construction because the system is largely invisible.
And knowing that they had a problem out there, into design and into construction, and then seeing a problem, a fix, right, for that. Whereas the end result of a lot of our projects is a roadway that's been paved over again and everything's underground and working and you don't see it.
The necessity of these man-made systems is driven by our unique and challenging local environment. Flood control in desert areas is fundamentally different from most parts of the country.
Here in Nevada, we're in the arid Southwest, we're in a desert region. So we experience rainfall, very fast, intense rainfall is one of the unique things about here. So we get these short monsoonal bursts of rainfall. So those can happen anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 hours of just very intense, very quick rainfall.
These intense, short-duration storms create rapid and powerful runoff, a major hazard to the community. Compounding the problem is the heavy urbanization of the Clark County area.
The other thing here is our entire city is very urbanized, so we have lots of paved roadways, rooftops. We don't have like riverine corridors or areas where the water would naturally drain, like a lot of places do, so we have to basically create a man-made system to get that water from the city out to Lake Mead, where everything eventually ends up.
The word regional is key to the district's mandate. This requires close collaboration with Clark County and all municipalities across the county.
I think one of the great things about the Regional Flood Control District is that word regional. Sometimes people don't catch that, but we're regional by nature because we're working with all of the different cities. So we're not just the city of Las Vegas or the city of Henderson.
Public input is gathered through formal mechanisms like public meetings, including the district's board of directors and the Citizens Advisory Committee.
Now, as we work through the planning, eventually we get to a point where we do have a design in mind and a time frame and a project, and that's where we do a lot of public meetings. We'll tell people about the project, the purpose of the project, why we're going to put cones up in their neighborhood. But that's where there are public meetings, a chance for them to voice any complaints or concerns, and we listen to those and try to work with them at that point.
Once a project is part of the master plan and community input is gathered, the facility enters the development phase, which includes prioritizing, design, and construction. Large facilities are often planned in a sequential fashion because they require connection to the rest of the flood control network.
But if you were going to generalize a time frame for how long it takes, I would say 3 to 6 years is probably like the window.
The design phase often presents the most significant unseen hurdles and potential delays. Determining locations of numerous utilities, including coordinating with companies like Southwest Gas, NV Energy, and water and wastewater agencies, can be a complex exercise when trying to fit massive infrastructure underground.
I think the phase where we experience the most, I'd say, surprises would be the design phase. But in a design phase, that's where there's a lot of complexity as you start to get into design and competing constraints and different funding sources. So we work a lot with Southwest Gas or Cox Communications or we've got to figure out where the sewer lines are.
Technology helps determine optimal facility locations. Engineers use complex rainfall and runoff simulation software influenced by historical rainfall data collected from over 200 rain gauges across the valley.
We use a lot of software tools, and so when we talk about modeling, you'll hear engineers talk about modeling a storm or watershed analysis or modeling these things. So the way we're doing that, we're essentially using computer technology to create a virtual storm on the computer.
From software on screens to boots on the ground, the design phase is a long but fruitful part of the flood control development process.
We've invested over $2 billion in our flood control system. We have over 700 miles of channels and storm drains in Clark County to help protect people from flooding. That was very intentional. It's taken 40 years of engineering and planning to help create this kind of flood resilience here in Clark County, and we look forward to another 30 years of continuing to do so.
The next time it rains, take a moment to look around and notice the lack of flooding in your area. Beneath the surface, a massive, strategically engineered system is working to make sure the biggest stories in flood control are the ones that never happen. You might notice active flood control construction projects across Clark County. Some of our most visible work currently includes a storm drain project at Burns Road, north of Sunset Road, a new detention basin south of Tropicana Avenue between Paradise Road and University Center Drive, work on the Flamingo Wash between Maryland Parkway and Cambridge Street, storm drain work along Charleston Boulevard between Commerce and Maryland, another work site on Charleston between Decatur and Lindell. At the Springs Preserve, a detention basin upgrade is underway. In the Northern Valley, along Las Vegas Boulevard, a project is beginning that will span from Lake Mead Boulevard to Cary Avenue. And in Mesquite, we're adding a channel near Levitt Lane and Falcon Ridge Parkway. You can always view an up-to-date map of our current and upcoming projects on our website. Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Flood Channel. If you'd like more information about the Clark County Regional Flood Control District, you can visit our website at regionalflood.org. You can also follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We'll see you next time.